masters face to face. Good luck being the message. Whether that is the truth, what they're wishing each other, we'll wait and see. So a referee from Côte d'Ivoire, Natasha Conan, as we see the Far Rabat lineup. It's a return for Fatima Damos. She is the only change from victory on match day 1. And Doa Madani add to the brace she got in that opening victory. Will Azizi Rabat get another chance from the spot? She got 2 alone. Mohamed Amin Aloua, hopeful his side are up to the task. There is Natasha Conan leading refereeing team. VAR will be in assistance. So there they are, looking from above. Nothing to do so far from our opening match. Will they need to be called upon tonight? Tepe Mazembe, see Mazim come into the starting 11. That won 2-0 against South Africans University of Western Cape. Marta will be hoping continue where she left off with a goal, as did Kanjinga, who certainly likes to get goals in the Women's CAF Champions League. All smiles. The fans making right good beat. Who will be victorious, or will it be a draw? It could suit both sides if they back themselves to win their respective final matches. But victory, and it would be a huge step towards the knockout phase. So we're underway. Asfar taking on Tepe Mazembe, match day 2 of Group A. And a very exciting match in prospect. Especially even more intrigue, given the fact that both teams coached by Moroccans. Lamia Boumedi returning home, having taken over Tepe Mazembe in the summer. This will be a real acid test against Alioua's well-drilled machine. Asfar, since losing a heartbreaking semi-final against Mamelodi Sundowns in the previous edition, they have only failed to win 3 of their last 30. So the Ravens' second participation in the CAF Women's Champions League, but a first ever chance to take on Asfar, and already looking to make a fast start. So Mohamed Alioua bringing back Fatima Damos, certainly a lot of experience in the midfielder. And there is Mumazim replacing Nigerian Glory Ede at left back. Battle for the ball. Oh, a lot of confidence shown. Spin and clearance from Asfar's Naila Benzina. Ravens certainly looking to make a positive impression. The Rabat side just looking to take a little bit of the sting out of it with a bit of possession. Eramichi out to Benzina. Big ask to Mazembe, but that explains some of the changes from Lamia Boumedi. Shifting about her midfield. Kassaj being joined by Prado and Mawanda, who've come into central engine room. Bukami with Raba. Happy to just play keep ball early doors. Asfar, along with Mamelodi Sundowns, very much the benchmarks for women's football in Africa. The ball through. Goes down and gets the decision. A shrug of the shoulders to Vienna. Wasn't completely in agreement with the decision, clearly. Hands up in the air, not convincing enough. So Safa Banuk winning the set piece. Ravens wall told to keep the hands down. Lina Ngoy in the goal. It's deflected. She wouldn't have known much about it. And look at her fury. Those in the wall. Seems that Rwanda getting the brunt of the verbal assault. It's in a strike from Doa Madani. Her brace certainly earning her seniority. Set piece. Take it short. Now can Tepe Mazembe break. They've got two up here, and there's space to move into. Asfar desperately trying to cover. Masudi trying to get back, but it's a lovely cutting ball. Tries to shape to shoot, but unable to really make enough contact. Kassaj. Huge let-off for Asfar on home soil. Of course, away from normal surroundings of Rabat. Still a Advantage being El Jadida, and now they could be in themselves. Can they show the killing instinct that the Ravens failed to bring? Effort just dribbling wide. Rockets think she got a touch. I think that might be the case because it was deflected behind. Shot away, but off the toe of Cubiera. Short corner taken. Well, there is Mikhail didn't want to be offside, but then she knew why she didn't receive the ball. Mehdi, mix of emotions, I'm sure. A great chance at one end. The side under the cosh here. Sana Masoudi. The rare players to have scored in his Champions League hat-trick. The only goal she has scored in the competition. Just over 3 years ago now, when she got all the goals to defeat Nigeria's Rivers Angels. Read by Bukami. Real good tempo about the opening exchanges. Prado plays it into space. Goes early with the pass. Maybe wasn't necessary. And then that's just showing far too much of it to Bukami. Nodded back, but Asfar showing that little bit of composure. And it's a really poor ball out. A little bit of nerves, maybe. Both victors on match day one, but now very much aware this is more of an even contest. Asfar, Association Sportive des Forces Armée Royale. No surprise then, strong ties to the Moroccan military. Founded in 1958 by the Royal Moroccan Army under Crown Prince Moulay Al Hassan. While being a dominant force Moroccan women's football, CAF Champions League title, really rubber stamped, their continental pedigree. Shouldn't give them taste for more. That's the frustration in last year's competition, and they failed to defend their title. Time taken by Elena Nkundum. Nice space for Kanjinga. She just showed far too much of it, as do Asfar. Trying a nice 1-2. She's got the strength and pace to get there first, and it stumbles across. Oh, what a start for Tipe Mazembe. Only for the flag to go up. Now, VAR will be of assistance if needed. take that little bit of pressure off the officials, knowing there is help at hand. Bit of a problem for Benzina, but here we see it. Lovely 1-2. I'm not sure she's going to be offside when the ball just rolled to her, agonizingly outside the reach of Ramici. 25-year-old goalkeeper making her 17th Champions League appearance. Been there and done it across the competition's short but fabulous history. Well, it is goalless for now, but Asfar will be hoping VAR agrees with the linesman. Certainly the angle we had wasn't ideal, certainly on the angle, but there is a VAR check. Natasha Conan. See the sweat referees having to put in a lot of work and running, and then the fitness to keep clear mind with so much going on, as you can see everyone trying to get a look. Umedi waits, as do those for Asfar. This is a huge moment. There wasn't much intent necessarily from Merve Anjinga. She stumbled through and then the ball just rolled incredibly. And it is a goal. Onside. VAR's intervention brings Tepe Mazembe joy, and an Asfar that are going to have to come from behind. Elena Ukwandum with a brilliant intervention, miles onside in the end. It's difficult for the linesman given the way the play run out, but it just stumbled across, and you just saw Ramici unable to get to it. It was a lovely build-up. Look at this 1-2. Excellent ball from Nacho Marta. Had the perfect weight. Merve Kajinga to bundle through. And then the easiest of tasks was left to the third of the attacking trident, Kundum. What a huge moment in this match. So early, and already huge pressure on Asfar to respond. Equatorial Guinea born 24-year-old Elena Kwandum with the opening goal. She has previous in the CAF Women's Champions League. That was when she turned out for Huracanes. She did get a goal in a draw with Mande in the 2023 edition. An Equatorial Guinea international with the goal that separates the sides. A little too enthusiastic there. Chance to drive it across. Oh, that's a touch that hopefully didn't fall kindly for Asfar from a Tepe perspective. Just needing to calm things down a little bit, but they're playing themselves into trouble. All lifted in. Battling away, but Matao can't come away with it. Fabulous footwork from Zeneb Budani. A super play. Right kind of idea, but tough to execute. Tepe Mazembe, the TP to puissance, all powerful. We've certainly been that in the opening exchanges, but Asfar looking for a response. That trickling wide from Sana Mosudi. Caught on the end of this, stumbled it across. Nothing easier for Lukundu to finish. Challenge came in, but it only helped it across. Enrici conceding her first goal of this edition. It was off her toe, but Sudi now shows too much of it. You can see Boumedi living every moment. Jinga somehow gets to that first lovely ball driven in. Not enough bodies in support. That was a nice idea, but after a lovely little layup, loose from Rodani. A shock to the system for the Moroccan champions. Tepe Mazembe have come to play. Might have had a free kick there, but the referee happy to let play rage on. Takes out a brilliant cross. Well, that was calm and collected from Benzina. Just shepherd that back to Ramici. Damos coming back into the side and into midfield. That meant Siam Bukami slotted back into the back line as she now passes to defensive partner Aziza Rabah. Islan Chiri back, it's early and get a free kick. Four of the Asfar starting 11 started on that triumphant night. Saw them thrash Mamelodi Sundowns to lift the 2022 title. Ramici, Bukami, Benzina, Chiri, and Fatima Damos. Just to really hammer home the level of experience, along with the fact they've won 27 of their last 30 matches. They've only lost one of those in that period, and yet they trail to Elena Oliana Lukundum. Her early goal for Tepe Mazembe. DR Congo side absolutely ecstatic. They have now something to protect. She was fouled, there's no whistle. Ajinga. Mazembe able to just take a little bit of sting out of it, but now they're going direct. So Tepe Mazembe, three-time reigning DR Congo champions. Moroccan and we are Congolese champions going head to head in a headline-grabbing clash, and it's the Ravens who have the precious lead. A lot of chatter, but Moroccans have to keep cool heads. Cuts back inside the goal scorer. Kwandum got the ball moving. Well, if it was just a little further to the left. The ball from Prado, it could have worked out, but it's working out nicely now. Took it on early, Kajinga. Unlike her first name, it wasn't quite marvellous enough. Some lift on it. It's never going to trouble keeper of Eremichi's talents. Fabulous challenge. Couldn't get back to her feet. Siam Bukami making sure she at least put it out for a throw to reset. If you are wondering why Engelbert is making a big statement on the back of the Tepe shirts, the club's historical link with the Engelbert Company, a major sponsor in the past, involved in manufacturing tyres and later expanded into sports sponsorship. Tepe Mazembe as a club, one of Africa's most successful in the world. The men's team, 5-time Champions League winners. Now the women are taking their moment to try and add their own illustrious chapter to the club's badge. Down the line, works out quite wonderfully. Maybe that was a bit rushed though. There's sometimes a desire to get in quickly, maybe a tactic, but at times opportunities to drive with the ball, maybe open up further spaces. But no wonder there's a glum look on the face of FAR Rabat's boss, who been in charge since October 2022, ahead of what ended up being their first, currently only Champions League title that was won specifically on home soil. He's being out-thought at the moment by his compatriot. Ball over the top, chases on. Cool and collected at the back, although it's not a great kick out from the goalkeeper. Should not be worried about Masoudi's effort. Set her sights, but nothing much for Ngoy to worry. Certainly not the match Asfar would have envisaged, how they hoped it would go. screams, but no free kick. And they get one now from a lot deeper. Took him for a spin. This is the previous one, but it's a very strong but fair challenge. The second not so. Asfar putting all the bodies up, but then not launching forward, and it was just a change of angle. Chiri didn't find appropriate to launch. Now she might. No, she really had to. So much by design, but a bit of faltering as far into the final third. There's a real strength and tenacity about the Ravens. Oh, that's a lovely touch and just bamboozling her opponent. Lovely footwork. Certainly, Nacho Marta showing her a little bit of magic. Mazembe happy to allow Asfar possession until they enter their lair. Haven't been able to close it down this occasion. There's a chance to cross for Erodani. She didn't take it. She has at least earned a corner. Stress and strain for dignitaries. Whichever of the two sides they represent. After winning the corner, the execution was lacking. Well, this first half hour couldn't have gone much better for the Ravens. Only ever won once at a CAF Champions League. Second victory not only be historic, it would be potentially a route to the semi-final. And they created a gilt-edged chance. Amici did brilliantly, but she shouldn't have been able to. Nacho Marta should have absolutely buried that. The ease in which they're cutting through Asfar will be of huge concern. And after a very easy first half that saw them clinch a 3-0 win against debutants Aigle, they are finding the Ravens far harder to tame than the Senegalese Eagles. Well, that was the frustration. Will they look to regret that? Or are they just going to keep going? Very much seems the latter. Sudi battling strongly. Play their way out, but not out of trouble. Oh, takes on the effort. Bobbles front of Yanichi, but it's Ziza Rabat who's leading the inquest. Real lack of energy and zip from the Moroccans. Something that can't be said about Tepe Mazembe. Slow and calculated at the back, but the problem is they're getting absolutely no joy once they play it out to midfield, and once again they're looking in trouble. Laid off, fired towards goal, but Kanjinga unable to direct on target once more. There is a real challenge being laid down to Asfar. We've already seen Mamelodi Sundowns, the two-time champions and of course reigning, defending CAF Women's Champions League, having lost their opening match. It only goes to show the strengthening of women's football in Africa. While that might be a good thing overall, it's certainly not a good thing for the Rabat-based side at the moment. All down the line. Just trying to create some pressure. Mazembe working so hard. She might be, will they be able to keep that up over the 90 minutes? Just more than half an hour. Doing so with ease. I think that was a good intervention. Goalkeeper Roy was coming to it, but I'm sure it was going to reach her. Under pressure, Sudi does so well, and that is so unlucky. No reward for her hard graft. Battling hard up against Marifatu Ngambe. Defender getting a bit lucky. Ngambe. Quite find intended target. Danny puts it forward. Again, the Ravens picking up. Strong in the challenge. They're taking their time though to decide it was a free kick. out, but can they? Closer to the Ravens' goal, trying the direct route. Gambi, again dominant, but also finding a black and white shirt. Scrappy, untidy. The moment that suits Tipe Mazembe. Now in behind again. Can she finish this time? She beats the goalkeeper, but it is well wide. And can the Ravens keep coughing up these gilt-edged chances? Well, she picked the pocket from Bukami. Pulled it wide of the goal to create the angle. Then she pulled it wide, and well wide. Scored the club's first ever goal in this competition. Unfortunately, unable to add another. The 21-year-old had a mixed 2022, scoring the winner against Wedi Degla, but she was then sent off late on in the 4-0 thrashing handed out by Mamelodi Sundowns. On the score sheet again on match day 1. As yet, she's not managed to do so outside of a CAF Women's Champions League match day 1. Ball to be fought for. Well, this is where she can be so dangerous. Kanjinga. Very physical, strong runner. If the 21-year-old could add finishing to her repertoire, she would be nearly unstoppable as she is at the moment. Oh, she takes that on! Oh, wow! It may end up in the back of the net, over the bar. The bar that's still shaking from the effort from Merve Kanjinga. Oh, wow, Asfar are really hanging on here. She spun this round, little flick off the heel, and then she's let fly. What a hit this is, and just so unfortunate. And then on the rebound, an excellent touch, playing it into the path of Prado. Couldn't find the route to goal, and will Tipe Mazembe live to regret these missed chances? Oh, lovely spin on the ball, great strength as well, it was needed. And then she just runs out of options. There's no support, and Asfar are getting torn apart here. Ball in field, spins it round, but in the end there are finally enough bodies to block Merveille's route. They are just running riot. You get the sense the Rabat base side are desperate for the halftime whistle to sort this out, because they are being dominated all over the pitch. certainly players down, but I think Asfar are just happy for a break as they have a team meeting. Islam Chiri still down. They're still cheery in the stands. Those for Asfar are certainly looking concerned, asking Mum when it's going to turn around. It's certainly an answer that Arua is going to have to search for with his team. At the moment is some homecoming for Lamina Boumedi. Ball there to be struck. Instead, switched down back to Marta. Flips it in. Oh, it's a free header! And finally, the pressure has told. Kanjunga comes up trumps, heading Tepe Mazembe towards a huge shock on match day 2. The men's team have been the star attraction in the past, but it's the women's Ravens that are the hot ticket right now. 5 men's Champions League titles in the trophy cabinet. Are we seeing early stages of a first for the women? It's a long way to go, but the way they are tearing the one-time champions apart in their own country. Kanjinga's first name, Hervé, and she is certainly marvellous. She's missed some gilt-edged chances, but she kept plugging away. And the Ravens are absolutely flying. Well, they don't know where to look. They are being absolutely pulverized. And it is a great shock because of how good this Asfar team are. They have lost 1 in 30 since defeat to Mamelodi Sundowns in the semi-final. And yet, despite winning their first match, they are getting torn apart. And certainly the safety net for Asfar, as they did win their first game, and they will face on match day 3 a clash with UWC ladies, although South Africans gaining their first ever victory against the Eagles from Senegal. Don't know if there's a check going on. Certainly we've been paused for quite a long time. Referee Natasha Conan in conversation, the Ivorian, yet get this match underway. So I wonder what the VAR check might be. And is there a massive lifeline? Well, VAR confirmed the opening goal for Nkundum as onside. And something is being brought to the referee's attention now. This could be huge because the way it's going, Asfar desperately needs something to go their way. It's not a given, but you get the feeling at times when referees do have a chance of having a look. Goal may be chopped off for offside. That would seem a bit harsh. Not convinced she's played too much part in the build-up, unless the claim is she's blocked the path of Aziza Rabat. The 14 in your picture is the defender, Aziza, who scored and missed a penalty in their first outing of this competition. I think the referee is deciding whether she has made a contribution to allowing Kanjinga a free header. Would she have got a block in had Tipe Mazembe player not been there? Well, quite massive decision. Certainly offside, that's not in doubt. Very much ahead of the play. But is she interfering? We're about to get our decision. Asfar needed that let off. The goal for Murphy. Kanjinga has been ruled out for offside and interference. Can they use that let off to rediscover their poise? Jizan Chidi wants back on. And in first half stoppage time, we have seen an awful lot of drama. And it's now official 1-0 to Tipe Mazembe. Certainly would have worried for Asfar going 2-0 down the way the match has unfolded. Very much up to your own interpretation, and the referee believing that Rabat was stopped blocking the ball by a player who'd been offside in the build-up. She was just too central. Really difficult for Tipe. I think they get their award. So it's just the one goal they lead by. Elena Guandum. Of course, goals change matches. Could the refusal of one be the spark that Asfar need? Ball swung in. Vital interception behind for a corner. So just 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half, but of course we had that VAR stop and decision. Whether this may be the final act of the half, that'll be down to our referee. Goes short again. Can they find the finishing touch? They're all in on it. It just doesn't run for them in between two. But that's the best we've seen from Asfar. Rabat, captain round the back. Right. Has not really been overworked. It's a good ball in by Rudani. It was in between Benzina and Rabai. Need it to drop short or long. In between, not cutting it. Well, an absolute rip-roaring first half. And it is flown by. Some capturing memories. It's the Ravens who are soaring at this moment. What can Asfar do in the second half to turn this around? Can the Ravens maintain the standard they've set? Oh, there's some lovely football being played. And that's given away cheaply. There's a fatigue about Asfar. They are desperate for the halftime break. Ball down the line. Poor touch. And Tepe Mazembe will just take the sting out of it. 4 minutes was the minimum. But now we've had the VAR time, because VAR has played its part. 1 goal confirmed, another chopped off, but both for Tepe Mazembe, who have been an absolute breath of fresh air. Asfar don't know what has hit them. They will need to regroup and refresh and find that champion spirit they very much have. But at the moment it's the Ravens who are soaring. Tepe Mazembe leading at the break by a 0-0. Matchday 2, Group A. So much at stake. So much still to be played when we come back for the second half. So a fantastic first half, although Asfar will certainly not be in agreement. Just seemed to be lacking in energy. Those Matchday 2's headline-grabbing match in Group A. One-time champions Asfar hoping to regain the title they failed to defend in the last edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, and they started off brightly before the sun went down, and Tepe Mazembe started to move the ball with real purpose, and then it just fell on a plate for Elena Ukwandum. Onside after Marve Kajinga had bundled her way through after linking with Lacho Marta. And what a moment. And then the number 10 was really stealing the show. Went early. An easy take for Kaja Iramichi. But then in on goal, Marta should have finished to make it 2. And there were just chances aplenty for the Ravens, for the DR Congo. The goal scorer setting it for Kajinga. This time over the bar. But then she picked a pocket. In on goal, 1-on-1. She went wide. And then she really went wide. But then she found an effort that did rattle the bar. The follow-up from Prado, though, should have been better. But this was the constant threat that the Ravens were bringing. Asfar having no answers. They finally stirred. They couldn't find a ball that would allow them to try and level. A VAR decision ruled out a goal for Kachinga as Tepe Mazembe lead by 0-0. So an absolutely enthralling first half. What will we get in the second? Do join us for that when we come back. Well, welcome back to the big story brewing in the Women's CAF Champions League. TP Mazembe leading the former champions Asfar by a goal to nil. And it could have been a good few more. That's how many chances the DR Congolese have had. These national champions have gone head to head. It is the Ravens who have taken flight. What a big halftime team talk for that man. Looks to be about to make a change. Mohamed Amin Anaoua preparing to send on his one and only non-Moroccan player, Nigerian defender Maureen Tovia Okpala, preparing to come on. Potentially then be an injury. There were a few Asfar players that went down. Is there a tactical switch? Out early, and no wonder. They have a lot to prove in the second half. Stunning scenes in El Jadida on the Atlantic coast, lit up. But who will light up the second half? Certainly Merve Kanjinga was a star turn. But now, heading out, Maureen Tovia Okpala, and she is replacing Fatima Damos, who only returned to the starting 11 for this match, having been a substitute on match day one. That suggests that Siam Bukami will move back into midfield. We'll wait to see how they line up, but they certainly need more energy and a better attitude. It's not that it was necessarily lacking in terms of wanting to do well, but they have not produced anything that we've become used to when Asfar turn up for the Women's Champions League. For TP Mazembe, look how aggressive they are in their press. Bundles of energy, and it seriously could have been 3 or 4 had they taken their gilt-edged chances. The opening goal from Elena Mkwandum. The ball fell fortuitously to her. So Kajinga rode a challenge. VAR confirming she was onside. Number 7. And then VAR chalking off the header of Kajinga. He found the Raven offside and interfering with play. And then there was Marta one-on-one. And Jinga. Another, as there's a lovely bit of skill there. Strong challenge though from Rabat. In again as well. That's what they need. Captain trying to lead by example. I think the biggest positive for the Moroccan champions was certainly that they're only 1-0 down. And that fact means they can try and reset and go again. They have got to get to the goal of Ngoy, because they really failed to make the goalkeeper, the DR Congo side, work. Masudi. To get in position. Early free kick for the Moroccan side. Just a clip there. Boot. Giving away the set piece, taken by Rabai. Masudi got a touch. It would have had to be an extremely deft one to do anything other than see it behind. Breathtaking views. Stepe Mazembe are taking Asfar's breath away after an exhilarating first half. Substitutes first touch. Tovia Okpala making her debut in this competition. Been an unused sub on match day 1 in their victory. 3-0 over Aigle de la Madina. Certainly putting herself around. Anna needs much more than that. Long free kick. Header away. That's falling kindly. Too much of Safa Barouk. Takes out across. The header! Oh, that is how you react. What a response, and it's their own number 7 who has levelled this match. They could have been out of sight after the first period, but a powerful header from Doa Madani, and it's her 3rd goal for Asfar in this CAF Women's Champions League. Well, Banu just put everything into this cross. And then look at how it just fell perfectly. Doa Madani then made sure she gave Ngoy absolutely no chance. What a response. And it is response you'd expect from the 2022 champions. And now We really have a game on. Masudi keeps it in. Just the first time we've seen Rabat club have someone really busting a gut and bringing a bit of quality too. Ball kicked away there. I'm not sure if it's a warning or whether a card's going to come out. Nothing changed over this stunning skyline of El Jadida, but it's all changed on the scoreboard. Rocket champions back level, and are TP Mazembe going to regret their host of golden chances they've missed. El Madani, just 19 years of age. Talk about introducing yourself onto the main stage. Masudi, oh, it's kicked in! Oh, what a turnaround! That is quite incredible! And Masudi scored a hat-trick early in the run to the title 2 years ago. Has finally netted again in the biggest stage of women's African football. Well, it was a delightful ball reverse to her. There was a cross being waited for. It didn't come, but she just clipped it to the back post. Sure, she'd say she meant it. Let's give her the credit. It's flown into the net. And this one has turned around in the blink of a few second half minutes. That is some turnaround. It's taken less than 10 minutes. Now, TP Mazembe respond. Well, there's a player who knows all about representing this club in this competition, the standout, as they went all the way to the title in 2022. Agnew looking on from the sidelines. Along with the rest of the Asfar family, absolutely ecstatic that they have to maintain this level. Oh, and it could be in again. Shoulder to shoulder. The referee gives it for Asfar before the flag is seen. Offside. Masudi stays down. Sotanut on the sidelines. Head to Sevilla. Has been back at the club. Looking on is Masudi. That she's okay. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be an issue for the player that has made it 2-1. Three years on from her hat-trick in the group stage. He has a vital one for this man at Asfar. Settle in Spain back here, but match day squad. Just returned last month. VAR check now. I'm guessing it's whether it was offside, and if not, well, the referee has to decide whether it's a red card or not, because I can't think why else there would be a check. If that was the case, it could be a match that looked like Tepe Mazembe's to win could be turning into an unmitigated disaster. It certainly has on the scoreboard. At least there's no further concern. See that kind of nervousness creeping in where there was none before. The DR Congolese. Looks like she will get a free kick. Flag to save Tepe Mazembe this time. Not to say it's a story of two halves. It's a story of one half in 10 minutes. Giving advice, which the referee Kashikonen rightfully ignores. This was decision, and as we were looking at that, it is 3-1. Oh, Masudi, maybe she only does hat-tricks in the CAF Women's Champions League. She is one away now because she's just doubled up. A fifth career Champions League goal. And her first in 3 years has been followed by another so quickly, and it's her brilliant movement that has made it happen. She gets a toe to it ahead of and going, nobody goes with her. And Tepe Mazembe, as good as they were in the first half, are that pained in the second. That is the response of champions, and the 2022 title winners are absolutely flying. What a reversal of fortunes. Well, Prado brought into the starting lineup, heading off purely without understanding what exactly has happened. Masudi at the double, and now there just seems no way back, and where the Ravens profit with their chances, not taking them, Asfar have been ruthless. Lamina Boumedi built her reputation, especially during her spell with Wydad Athletic Club's women's team, as well as leading the under-17, under-20 national youth teams. He's coached the senior side. She's certainly made a big impression, an improvement on Tepe Mazembe, but wow, her side had just been knocked for 6. 3. Well, an hour gone. Congo champions are absolutely stunned. they have it within them to find a way back from this point. What a big decision it was to rule out their second goal when it would have been 2-0. An offside in the build-up to Jinga scoring with her head. Marta taking a knock. It's the Ravens who have taken a real blow. Just striking it forwards and unfortunately come off the feet. What has Boumeni got up her sleeve, because she doesn't have a half-time break to rally the troops. Sanchiri, for the first time, feeling the pain. Mazembe just defensively could not maintain their discipline. Asfar have punished them severely. As these will be the two teams that will qualify from Group A. They will still have to go into their final game needing a result. If it stays like this, victory for University of Western Cape does mean the alive match day 3. Point to Mazembe to dig deep and try and at least find a way to try and grab a point. On and everything changed directly. Certainly the Nigerian allowing slight switch of personnel. Dani and a double from Masudi as Asfar flying high towards 3 points. He's just unrecognizable from the first half. Driving through, needs the cutback. It's into a good area, but in between two. Marta smarting from getting low to the head. Back and helping out. Standards. Elena Nakunda scored early in the contest. She couldn't believe surely she'd be coming off the score 3-1 to Asfar. To the field. Number 3, Levine Lambu Makasi. First touch for the substitute. spark of life. A goal certainly would do that. Tepe Mazembe. Swung in. Touch didn't really do much for anyone in black and white. Do get possession back cheaply. Rushed there to not obviously have a clear idea of what was going on. There was 3 black and red shirts in front of her. They did go for a throw on her part. Zumba. Asfar just didn't compete in the first half. We've seen exactly what happens when they do. Zumba, long throw. Balls to Masudi. Takes a chance and it's not paid off. The strike coming in. Smart save from Renici. Though relatively regulation save, I should say. Merveille, Zinga. Our first look at anything in this second half somehow isn't on the score sheet. Now they need her to bring some magic. It and chases it. Zaraba, the captain, not taking any chances. She stayed down. I think it's Rabat. We didn't call a foul. Now with the ball out, will get attention. Well, Ramici making claim of an elbow. He's climbing all over. Zinga's trying to head it. It's just so unsightly to see players claim an elbow. And there's absolutely nothing to corroborate that. Clearly was caught. Didn't need a suggestion of something malicious. Incredible. We're heading towards the final 20 minutes. And Asfar just absolutely blown away a Tepe Mazembe side who looked, on the basis of the first half, like they were going to be absolutely walking it. But they have woken the Moroccan champions from their slumber. And it has been devastating. In just 8 second half minutes, El Mandani and a brace from Masudi has swung this contest completely on its head. This is the ball in. Mandani completely free. Inch perfect header to level things up. That was 1-1 though, but then Masudi clipped one towards the back post and it just flew in. 2-1. And then even worse for the defence. Tepe Mazembe asleep. Masudi absolutely alive to the moment and poking it in. Her second, Asfar's third. Absolute disbelief and elation. Masudi will be targeting another Women's Champions League hat-trick. I'm sure she won't worry about that as long as Asfar makes sure they see this one out. 4-year-old Moroccan international was fighting hard in the first half without any real help. Really the show for it. Both those things have changed drastically. Good touch from Madani. Lack of support. There's the Ravens to play out and could be in here. Clipped wide. So wasteful. The flag does go up, but the question is, would VAR have ruled it was on or off? That would have only been happening had she stuck it in the net. So Aziza Abba unable to continue. Aiba to replace the captain. Bukami, 21-year-old, putting on this second appearance after being a substitute against Aigle de la Medina in FAR Rabat's opening 3-0 win. They have equalled their scoring output despite conceding their first goal. Who would certainly want to be a fly on the wall for their halftime team talk, because it has brought them back from the brink of defeat into a very strong position. Change of foot for Tepe Mazembe. Goalie Creto, that is a fantastic first name for a striker. She heads on. This removed is number 11, Mwanda. Ball clipped in, bit of pressure. Sudi down, but no free kick. As it swung in, flicked on, headed wastefully wide. Marta couldn't do better. Certainly puts the ball in the head. Free right to let it play on. Abba unable to continue after clashing with the head of Kajinga. Mazembe desperate to battle to the end to see if they can shake something loose. Fortunately, this group stage can yet be a big lesson worth learning. It's not a result that should define their competition, but it may mean a tougher semi-final draw, though we've seen Mamelodi Sundowns lose their first match. Either way, we just want to get to the semi-finals and then you have to beat who you can. But Asfar, of course, met Mamelodi Sundowns in the semi-finals and lost out before finishing third. A year on from having thrashed the South Africans 4-0 in the final to lift their first crown. Best of balls out from Ramici. To clear their lines and get the break as it goes behind for a goal kick. Clearance under pressure. Asfar with a 2-goal lead to protect. Certainly weren't thinking of that. And the half-time whistle sounded. Runs into trouble. And now the ball slid through. Marta, it's going to be a penalty. Well, she's given nothing. Well, surely VAR are going to get involved here. Nacho Marta took the ball round. Contact. I'm not even sure what the referee's decision's been. I'll wait to see how this plays out. She's definitely onside. We'll see even better here. And that's got to be a penalty. She takes it away from her and clear contact. Siam Bukami will be incredibly lucky if VAR doesn't step in and award a penalty. So initially it's Bukami. Looks like she's completely done her ankle. We've already seen her defensive partner, Raba, come off, although there's a thumbs up from the medical team. They do think she will return. Now, Ramici wants to take a goal kick. And surprisingly, we do have a pause, and surely she's going to go to the monitor. She had a perfect view of it, Natasha Conan. You can only suspect that VAR provides that safety net. And the most important thing is coming to the right decision. This is exactly why the technology was brought in. Surely it would be either a corner or a penalty, because either she thinks she got a touch on the ball or she didn't. But this could be pivotal. We saw Tepe Mazembe absolutely tear Asfar apart, but only got that one goal. And then Asfar, what a response in the second half. 8 minutes, they scored 3 times. This would make it a spot kick in the final 10 minutes. And if the Ravens were to score, game would be back on. What a topsy-turvy night in El Jadida. However, as yet the penalty hasn't been awarded. Bukami. Well, you can hear the shout of no foul. I think that's coming from the Asfar bench. penalty kick. And what is the decision? It's not a red, because double jeopardy means an attempt to play the ball won't be punished with a red. I think it will be a yellow for the returning Bukami. Just having to wait here. There it is, but this is a massive moment in a match that's had so many. A real blockbuster encounter, and we're going to have a fascinating final chapter. That is if Tepe Mazembe can score from the spot. That is not a given against a player, a goalkeeper like El Ramici, who's taken the armband from the departed Rabat. Moroccan international facing up against the substitute Bafour. Not sure how many touches the Ghanaian has even had, but the 21-year-old is taking the responsibility on her shoulders as she looks to try and score her first ever CAF Women's Champions League goal. Pivotal moment. What a save! El Ramici. And even better, given the strike was clean. But wait. And the whistle was signing there. I don't think there's any suggestion El Ramici wasn't on her line. Absolutely amazing goalkeeping. Bafour. Well, actually, looking back at it, a little too safe with her effort, but El Ramici waited and reacted, and that could be a match-winning save. And yet there could be, oh, off the line! It's still bubbling around. This is incredible. Well, that's a hopeful punt, but it's worked out quite nicely, but Tepe Mazembe just cannot get efficiency. And the chances have come, they just haven't punished Asfar, in particular from 12 yards. We're picking there for Lagoli Creto. Poorly timed challenge, well deserved. Number 9's clashing. Vanuk. Hopefully okay. Now what a match. We've had almost everything. When the dust settles, it's Asfar. We'll look back on a first half of regret and a second half of exactly what this club is all about. Tepe Mazembe, you can see what a massive improvement there's been since their debut 2 years ago, but still plenty to learn. You get the feeling they'll get the chance. You'd back them to reach the knockout stage for the first time. They may yet be in here. It's cleared again. Asfar getting bodies on the line. And keeping the Congolese at bay. This is much more like the Tepe Mazembe we saw in the first half, except for getting each other's way. Driving run. Banuk collects. Well, the return was on. Maybe she should have taken it. Sudi penalised. What a run from Shema Rutal. Did so well, but she wanted the return. Away cheaply. Masudi. Oh, she just didn't see her coming. Came on the blind side. They have plenty of bumps and bruises to go with her brilliant brace. Clattered by Bafour, who will look back with regret at the missed penalty. He'll be a relieved man that his true side turned up in the second half. Launch forwards, and that's the kind of attitude you want to see from your players. Safa Barouk. A brilliant cross that allowed Doa Madani to level this tie before Masudi got her double. Chance to deliver. Is there some late drama to a match that's had so much? Once long. Flipped. Kept alive. But off target. What will be the match, the post-match review? And Boumedi and her team look back at how on earth it went so wrong after going oh so right. I think Alaoua, while he'll be absolutely ecstatic with the response, seems to be losing players by the minute. This was a penalty far too safe, but take nothing away from Remici. She was the one who showed the confidence to wait and then react. She could have gone early and it would have looked good. It wasn't to be the case in the Ghanaian. The wait for a first Champions League goal continues. Remici only conceded once. She made some massive saves in the first half. You can obviously look to the strikers who didn't put it past her, but she was there to make the save or to force them to miss. And she might not get the credit with the man of the... Well, the ball played across, but the flag does correctly go up. It's Remici. My money would be the women of the match. Of course, also Masudi will be the headline grabbers. 8 minutes added on. We've had plenty going on. Why not have extra time of this classic match? In behind, but Natal offside. Well, she's feeling better, at least to coach her on the sidelines. Aziza Rabat. Out of the match, but not down. 28-year-old. Such a great history in the game. And you'd be hoping we'll be moving into the coaching side of things. Pass on her vast experience. Bumedi. Well, you never know, maybe look back on this as a harsh lesson worth learning. There's certainly so much talent in the Ravens squad. Oh, lovely play. Block means corner kick. Had they scored the penalty, they would have had an awful long time to find a leveller. For now, they're just trying to reignite the match. With 6 minutes of the 8 additional minutes remaining. Long, deep cross. Free header. Cleared off the line. Get another set piece. And they set up a grandstand finish. Headed away. Now launch it back in, surely what is needed. But it falls to Remici. Stunning performance. 35-year-old continues to be a massive part of this club's success. Lovely skill, Bafour. Not letting the penalty miss affect her game. Drive across, got to finish, but steps on it. The moment passes by, Kaumbu is just not going to get the time she wants. Gets it in. Wants it on her right. Incredibly, that isn't the corner. Efficiency, clearly the biggest buzzword for Tepe Mazembe. If they had taken even half their chances in the first half, they may have already put Asfar to bed. As it is, Moroccan champions have been sensational in the second half. Now an opportunity to send on 17-year-old Wafa Ben Tariq. Huge moment. Make a second sub-appearance at this competition. And Baruch, whose cross set the way for Mandani to level it early in the second half. Takes a well-earned break. A couple of days for these teams to digest what has occurred here before they go into their final matchups. Asfar facing University Western Cape Ladies. Tepe Mazembe will be heavy favourites against Aigle de la Medina. Of course, Asfar will be huge favourites in their game, but certainly the South Africans certainly do look the third strongest in this group. While they have the ability to potentially cause the Moroccans a few problems, this second half version of Asfar will go far. It's always the desire trying to bottle the moment when you're at your best. Throw away when you're not. what would have been great is if we'd seen Tepe Mazembe from the first half face the Asfar of the second half, but that's not always how it works. Exactly why got to stay glued to the competition. Group B, match day 2 to come. Those matches taking place tomorrow. Mamelodi Sundowns needing a big reaction after their defeat. They face off against Ethiopian side CBE. Edo Queens taking on the Egyptians Massar. Two sides with 3 points from their opening matches. Tepe Mazembe will be looking back with regret over this match. And Asfar using the first half as a cautionary tale and the second as their benchmark. So Asfar going top of Group A, 3 points ahead of the Ravens from DR Congo and UWC Ladies. Aigle already out after 2 defeats. Well, she slipped initially, but she's done brilliantly to win the ball back and spread it. Introduction for young Bintari. Strength to get there first, taking no chances as we're past the 8 additional minutes. There, the last moment of quality. Oh, it was a decent hit. Remici looked relatively comfortable. I think the next kick will bring us closer to the final whistle. Not a million miles away. Marta will look back at her chance when she was 1-on-1 with Remici. And Jinga as well had big chances. In the end, they left it at just 1-0 at half-time, and they have paid the price. And Asfar could yet finish with more, but that was always going to be a tough one to take on the run. Masudi won't be making it 2 Champions League hat-tricks, but a double more than enough to see the Moroccan champions to a sensational come-from-behind victory. Madani's header was what opened the door. Masudi's double to win the match. This header, absolutely picture perfect. Just getting final few minutes. Kram Anjadi, 21-year-old defender, is part of the 2022 winning side. Although she only made 1 appearance against the determined girls, so having had 8 minutes in that previous edition. Not getting much here as Masudi and Marta show some bit of good sportsmanship. We know it's not going to be enough to instigate a fight for a point. Maybe try and at least finish a match that promised so much on a high, but it's too high. And we've passed the 100-minute mark. What a tale to tell. Well, there was the sign. She thinks it's over. It is now a quite incredible contest in El Jadida. It didn't look like these would be the scenes at half-time. Tepe Mazembe 1-0 up, and it could have been 3 or 4. In the end, Asfar came back after the break, and my oh my, did they bring their A game. Zafa Banuk found the head of Doa Madani. She headed in the equaliser, and then it was the Sana Masoudi show. She hadn't scored in the Champions League since a hat-trick 3 years ago. She added a double in the 2024 edition to produce a quite incredible result. It ended here in El Jadida, match day 2 of Group A. Asfar, 2022 champions 3, Tepe Mazembe 1.